Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, Darlin. Hello, Laura. Hello, Wilson. Hello, teacher. Um, this is my team. My name is Vanessa. We are going to talk about linguistic imperialism in the United Kingdom. Uh, I'm going to start talking. This was my question. Does everybody in the UK speak a Queen's English? The only one who speak that the Queen English is the Queen. She speaks like very slowly and carefully, and she had like a longer and slowly sounds in the vowels. And she probably nowadays she doesn't even speak that like that anymore because of the change of the centuries, of course. And it is estimated that the only 2% of the British population speak that with received pronunciation. It is also called like that. And the rest of the British population speak with their own regional accent. And when people refer to Queen's English, they mean like a stylish English, like traditional spoken by educated people of high social class in the UK. Queen's English is to be compulsory for presenters. That means that on that time, like on the 19th century, the presenter has to speak with that accent, maybe with that neat and formal English. And it is also known as received pronunciation, as I said before, or RP for short. It is this way of speaking and writing is traditional, very formal. And they have other key features included like precise pronunciation with distinctive vowel and consonant sound, using standard English and spelling, grammar, and vocabulary, and a lack of informal slang or regional dialect words. And next, I just put these pictures because it was like an example of how the Queen communicates or speaks. So if we go someday to London or something like that, we now can see or hear that they don't speak anymore with that Queen's English. So we are now going next with my friend Wilson.
Will your microphone.
Good evening, teacher. Good evening, classmates. My name is Wilson Alvarez, and my group analyzed the next question. Why is that English might be considered an imperialist language? It's important to remember the origin and provenance of the English language. The history of English can be described after the arrival of various Germanic tribes in the British Island. Um, the English is a language Germanic of family in the Indo-European. Next, please. In the century 5, different tribes invaded the island. Uh, the tribes Celtics. And these tribes arrived in the different sites. Celtic language moved the Scotland and Gales. There is the beginning of the English language. In 150 to 180, the first English script, his name was Anglo-Saxon. The tribes moved through the Iberian Peninsula, where four dialects were born: Northumbrian, Mercian, West Saxon, and in the year 700 to 8, idiom was Northumbria. Next, please. In the year 900, the Vikings invaded the British Island. The language, Northumbria, Mercian, and Celtic disappeared. West Saxon was the language that existed for this moment. In the year 1000, in England, the West Saxon is the first official language. In the year 1000, Normans conquered the island with the French. For this moment, the language, the principal language was the French. In the century 14th, the king Enrique IV was the principal person, and the language is the official language. For the year 1604, was the first dictionary of English. Next, please. The answer question is important because the English was the different places of the world was a different language in America and Africa and Australia. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilson. So keeping in mind this knowledge in language, in British language, we are going to talk about a little bit about chaps. So in the next slide, we have some examples about what is chaps. And it's really similar to ñeritos here in Colombia. And this type of people are usually classified as the low class in England. You can identify a chef by their clothing, the makeup, and of course, accent and language. We are going to focus right now on language, and we are going to talk about a little bit. So in the next slide, we have a great description about chefs. The typical chefs speak a language which has yet not been named. So that means it's not a language, it's just an accent. And actually, there is no name for this type of accent. It's just the chef accent. And also, as we learned, there are low people that, or a few people that talks about or talks chef's accent. As Vanessa teaches, nobody speaks the Queen language. So we have in this group the chaps. In the next slide, we have some examples about what type of phrases and words chaps use. So we have, for example, just a few words, and we can learn that chaps, it's not like a specific language, it's just an accent that it doesn't have a name. Also, they use short sentences. That means they use a lot of contractions when they speak. And also, it's really hard to understand chaps because, as I say, they're just they don't use grammar in the proper way, and also contractions are really difficult to understand. This is a box with some examples about informal English, and some chaps use this type of words once they talk. And now we are going to move with Laura.
Good evening, teacher and classmates. My name is Isabel, and now I'm going to answer the following question. Should the varieties of English be classified as better or worse than others? Well, we can classify the different varieties of English because each variation of this language has been crucial and for the society development and the human advancement. Besides this, each one is essential for daily life, and we can consider some better than others due characteristics such as the place in which it is used, the type of accent, the variations in speech typical of the place, the culture, and the ethnic group. Next slide, please. The English come from many changes in the history, approximately since 5th century, by the rise of the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. The type of English that we perceive actually is just a reflection of Old English, which is the sum of the English of Angles and the Saxons, also the Normandy French, ecclesiastical Latin, the Greek, and Latin of the scholars. Knowing that all English varieties come from a series of changes in the history, we can think that the Great Britain English is better or more important no matter than that they absorb it and distribute it to the rest of the world. Thank you.